What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Spoilers ahead. We all went through a heartbreaking goodbye in Downton Abbey: A New Era, but that doesn't mean we won't see Dame Maggie Smith anymore. Flashbacks! That's right, we might see her characters through flashbacks. Anyways, it seems like we will need to welcome the new generation of characters along with some major changes in the franchise. But first things first, will Downton Abbey 3 happen? Sadly, we're still waiting for Julian Fellowes to confirm the continuation of the franchise, but as he said, whether or not there is another sequel is dependent on how well Downton Abbey: A New Era will go at the box office. He also said he'll do another film if fans want one, and we all know the answer to that question. Luckily, most of the cast members want to return and reprise their roles again. Fellowes told Sky News, "If audiences want more and the cast wants to do more, then I'm sure we'll find a way of delivering more." In the meantime, Fellowes executive produces The Gilded Age on HBO, and based on the reviews, this is yet another great period drama with a settling in America. No, it's not similar to Downton, at least not according to us, but it is a must-see project. Anyways, the creators of A New Era made sure to leave enough space for another continuation, meaning there are countless possibilities for Downton Abbey to continue. There are, however, some cast members we don't expect to make an appearance, including Dame Maggie Smith, who plays the iconic Lady Violet, and Matthew Goode, who played Henry Talbot, Lady Mary's husband. A New Era said goodbye to Violet with her funeral being featured at the end of the sequel. As for Matthew Goode, he wasn't able to at least make a cameo because of his busy schedule. In the sequel, the Crawleys welcome new members to the family. We also saw a beautiful wedding between Tom Branson and his new bride Lucy. The two welcomed a new baby. Does this mean it's time for us to meet the new generation that'll lead to Downton? Perhaps. The sequel welcomed the Crawleys into the 1930s, and they all went through some changes. Some were good while others were awful, but the changes explain the title of the sequel, A New Era. From changes in their estate to changes in their family, welcoming new members and saying goodbye to others, A New Era certainly changed the franchise forever. What's important for now is that the original cast members of the series were more than happy to return in the sequel, which guarantees their return in the potential third installment.
And he gives her a house.
You never thought to turn it down?
Do I look as if I'd turned down a villa in the south of France?
The obvious actress who won't return to reprise her role would be Maggie Smith, who was the fan-favorite character in the entire Downton universe. Her absence in future projects will leave a great mark, and there is nothing that will ever be the same, neither for us nor the other characters. A lot of fans hope to see Matthew Goode reprising his role as Henry Talbot in the third film, but rumor has it that he's no longer interested in playing Henry, meaning that Henry might be killed off in a third film, which will lead to a major tragedy in Mary's life. A lot of fans were surprised not to see Lily James return as Lady Rose, and based on that, she will perhaps get cast in the third film. The first film was released in September 2019, 4 years after we saw the finale of the successful series. A New Era was originally planned for a Christmas 2021 release, but it was pushed to May 20th, 2022. If the creators greenlight another film in 2022, our guess is that we'll see it sometime in 2024 at the earliest. Another thing the sequel confirmed is that Lady Mary is now the captain of Downton. Okay, we all expected this to happen sooner or later, but A New Era confirmed that Lady Mary is the new Lady of Downton. Fellowes also confirmed that it's time for you to smash that like button if you want to see Downton 3. As Violet Crawley and Robert, the 7th Earl of Grantham, indicated, Lady Mary Talbot is set to run the estate. This is a big change for the Crawleys, and we feel like the third film will address this storyline in more detail. Even with all of her knowledge, Mary might face some troubles. No, Mary will definitely face some troubles and difficulties. Running such a huge estate is not an easy job, not at all. But we are also sure that a big question for her future is that of the fate of her husband. The absence of Henry Talbot led to a new romantic interest for Mary, the director Jack Barber. The two became really close during the process of filming the movie, but Mary was determined to stay faithful to Henry. How long can she stay faithful to her husband, whose biggest interest interest is a hobby rather than his own family. What do you guys think? Let us know before we jump into details regarding the new generation of characters.
But with that, I will say goodnight and leave you to discuss my mysterious past.
Downton Abbey: A New Era takes place somewhere between 1927 and 1929. According to Julian Fellowes, the sequel of the 2019 film continues right after the final events of the film. So yeah, A New Era brings the Crawleys to a new era literally in the 1930s. The fact that the Downton family is entering its third decade means that more changes are bound to happen. The first installment of the series started on the same day the RMS Titanic sank in April 1912, with the show continuing with the deception of some significant events from history, including World War I and the Spanish flu pandemic. The sixth season of the series ended with the show set in 1925. The Downton Abbey 2019 film then continued in 1927. Now that the Crawleys will enter the 30s, is it time for the viewers to meet the new generation of characters? Well, we believe so. The next film might focus on children Sibby, George, Marigold, and most of the recent additions to the family. Although there's countless possibilities for where the third film could go, we actually believe it's time for the franchise to focus more on the Crawleys' children. The sequel to the 2019 film is practically divided into two parts. One where part of the family heads to France and the other stays in the estate, welcoming a film production company that shoots a motion picture in their castle. And then the end features one of the most heartbreaking moments in the entire Downton universe as all of their characters along with the viewers say goodbye to Lady Violet, with the story moving to a new decade in the 1930s, explain the title of the film, A New Era. So far, we've been following the lives of three daughters of Robert Crawley, the Earl of Grantham, a character played by Hugh Bonneville, and his wife Cora, the Countess of Grantham, a character played by the beautiful and talented Elizabeth McGovern, Lady Mary, played by Michelle Dockery, Lady Edith, portrayed by Laura Carmichael, and Lady Sybil, portrayed by Jessica Brown Findlay. Sadly, we said goodbye to Sybil way too soon as she lost her life during childbirth. She gave birth to a daughter named Sibby with her husband Tom Branson, who remarried in the sequel. Mary gave birth to George, their heir of Grantham, with her husband Matthew, who lost his life in a tragic accident. Edith has one child with Michael Gregson, who has also died. Mary gave birth to a daughter named Caroline with her second husband Henry Talbot. Edith then gave birth to her son Peter with her husband Bertie Pelham, the Marquis of Hexham. A New Era introduces another member, a baby born to Tom Branson and his new wife Lucy. With a proper time jump, we can see all of these children running the estate. This might be a better idea for Downton 4, but it's definitely a great and reliable theory if we want to see more Downton projects in the future. In the sequel, we find out that Sibby inherited a villa in the south of France left to her by her great-grandmother Violet. Seeing the Crawleys going up on a trip to the French Riviera occasionally would be a perfect way to include Sibby in more storylines in future projects. We also know that you need to smash that subscribe and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. But seriously, the Crawley grandchildren might be the next characters the franchise would focus on. We'll see you in the next video.